Hi guys, it's the Sciencebarbie. Today we're going to solve a system of linear equations. And we have this system here. We have three linear equations and we have three variables a, b, and c that we want to solve the system of equations for. And what we're going to use is an algorithm developed by a German mathematician called Gauss, and that's why it's called Gaussian Elimination. And this Gaussian elimination is based on matrix operations, and the matrix that we're going to use is called the augmented matrix. So this is another term that we're going to learn today. It's the augmented matrix. Now, how does it look like, this augmented matrix? What we start with is we write down the variables that we are looking for. It's A, B, C, and somehow here the right hand side of the equation. And then we write down the coefficients. It's 1 times A, 0 times B, 1 times C, and the right side is 2. Then we have 2 times A, 1 times B, 2 times C, and 3 on the right hand side, 1 times A, 2 times B, 2 times C, and 0 on the right side. And that's what we call the augmented coefficient matrix, because what we see here are the coefficients and they're augmented by the right side of these equations. Now what we want to do is we want to find an echelon form of this coefficient matrix, and we're looking for here pivot elements. It's very nice already here. We start with 1. So what we do is we want to eliminate the 2 here in row number 2. And how are we going to do this? Well, we just take the second row and subtract 2 times the first row. And also we want to eliminate here the 1 in the last row. How are we going to do this? Well, that's the third row minus the first row. And that's pretty much it. Now let's write it down again. We have A, B, C, and the right side of the equations. And this is our augmented matrix. We keep the first row, it's untouched, it's unchanged. We just write down the numbers. So the second row, it's 2 minus 2 times the first row. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. We have minus 2 is minus 4. And 3 minus 4 is minus 1. Then the third row minus the first row, 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. And 0 minus 2 is minus 2. Now it's already looking quite nice. What we already have here is our second pivot element. What we want to do is we want to eliminate the 2 here in the third row. So again, we're going to have this snake-like arrow and we say, okay, the third row minus the second row, so we can eliminate the 2 here. Now we get a new augmented matrix, A, B, C, and the right side of the equation. Rows number 1 is untouched. And row number 2 is also untouched. And now row number 3. 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay, attention, I said the third row minus the second row. Of course, the second row times 2, otherwise we can't eliminate here. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Minus 4 times minus 2 is 8. 1 plus 8 is 9. Again, here we have minus 2 plus 2 is 0. Now let's write it down like this. I think we can see it well. And now we do something called back substitution. We can already solve here. We see 9 from the third row. Let's write down this third row. 9 times c, because that's the coefficient of the variable c, equals 0 here on the right side, which means c equals 0, and that's already our first solution for the variable c. Now let's go on to the second row. It's a back substitution because we start here with the last row and then we work through until we end up here in the first row. Now we have 1 times b is b minus 4 times c, 4 times 0 equals minus 1. Now 4 times 0 is 0, b equals minus 1. That's the solution for the variable b. And let's finally move on to the first row. We have here 1 times a plus 0 times b, that's okay. 1 times c, c is 0, equals 2. And that's already the solution, a equals 2. Now we have the 3 solutions for this system of equations. A is 2, b is minus 1, and c is 0. And I hope that you could understand the algorithm here.
Das war ein Mathematik-Tutorial der Sciencebarbie. Jedes Like und Abo des Kanals freut uns sehr. Für Feedback und Kommentar nutzen Sie die Kommentarfunktion.